Hey everyone, it's Gilz with your Postgame Talk. Kansas State falls to Iowa State 76-57 here in Kansas City. And now we wait till Selection Sunday. I'm sure you guys are all tuning in to find out, is K-State, do they have any chance to get into the NCAA tournament? Jerome Tang up there on that podium just a few moments ago was adamant that his team deserves to be in. Real quick though, be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, like, comment, all the things that Fitz would love you to do. It helps us grow and reach more K-Staters. Anyways, we're going to break down the game, but real quick here, guys. We've got to address the elephant in the room. Did Kansas State do enough all season with its body of work, with its resume, to get into the NCAA tournament? Jerome Tang up there on that podium, like I said, he stated his case. It was about a 3-minute answer when he was asked about, is K-State an NCAA tournament team? And I'm not going to go through every, thing that Jerome Tang said on there. I'm not going to list every reason, but he was fired up about it. That was about as passionate I've seen Jerome Tang get in a while. He thinks his team is in. And when we were talking to the players in the open locker rooms, they mentioned that they have faith, right? It's in God's hands in their eyes to get them into the NCAA tournament. They feel like they did enough, but over these next couple of days before Selection Sunday, I'm sure we can dive into the resumes, comparatively speaking, to other bubble teams and see where K-State sort of stands. But if you go to any of the bracketology sites, K-State is on the outside looking in. But inside of that locker room, K-State does believe that they've got a chance. Anyways, with this game itself, though, Kansas State played well. I wouldn't say well, but K-State was giving itself a chance throughout the entirety of the first half. And then early on in the second half, K-State came out firing, got that deficit cut to 1 point. And so K-State didn't play too terribly early on, but the turnovers in the second half really just started to stack up. And, if K-State doesn't get into the NCAA tournament, and if this is the loss that, keeps them out of the field of 68 and they were the first team out, it would be very fitting that K-State would be left out because of this loss to Iowa State. But the root cause of this loss was really the turnovers, 20 turnovers for Kansas State. And that would be fitting because all season long, that's been the Achilles heel for Kansas State. You can't win games, especially against a top, ranked team like Iowa State, the second best team in the Big 12 this season. You just can't win games with that number of turnovers. And I think certainly the fatigue had to have set in for this team. There's no doubt about that. These guys were tired. They're playing on back-to-back days. Guys, you look at BYU earlier today. You look at TCU. Both of those teams struggled mightily playing on back-to-back days. The same could be said for Kansas State. Now, I know this team isn't looking for excuses, but playing back-to-back against a well-rested team, it's going to be tough, especially when you just beat that well-rested team and they want to come out and prove something with a chip on its shoulder trying to get revenge on you. So Kansas State falls here against Iowa State, and we'll see what happens on Sunday. The low-hanging fruit here is the turnovers. I think you can obviously touch on Tyler Perry, Arthur Kaluma, and Cam Carter, K-State's big three, so to speak. Tyler Perry did score 18 points. He got to the free throw line 8 times. That is what he kind of does best. But, he did have 4 turnovers in the game. And so it's hard to win games where you only have 2 assists and 4 turnovers, right? Day-Day Ames had a really good game against Texas. But now I think the scouting report for Iowa State was maybe a little bit more centric to Day-Day Ames after his strong performance. And then Cam Carter, only 9 points. Arthur Kaluma had 13. He was starting to get some confidence going out of the locker room early on in the second half. I mentioned K-State cut it to 1, but Kaluma and the rest of that trio and the whole entire roster, let's not put blame on anyone here for this loss. These guys were tired. These guys were fatigued. They gave it their all. I'm not going to question the effort of this team. That happened obviously at other times this season where Jerome Tang wasn't happy with this team's effort against Kansas, but I think that the effort was there, but just the overall, there wasn't much gas in the tank for this team, especially later on that second half. And, this place was rocking, filled with Iowa State fans. I doubt Jerome Tang was very pleased with the turnout from K-State fans, to be quite honest. But to Iowa State's credit, those fans are always showing up here in Kansas City. So I'm sure Fitz is going to have a lot of coverage coming your way on this YouTube channel with the resume, doing maybe some blind resumes, some stuff like that he did previously ahead of the Big 12 tournament. But all K-State can do now is wait and sit back and hope to get a bid. Hope to hear its name called on Selection Sunday. Of course, wherever they go, we'll have all the coverage coming your way here on GoPowercat. But this will be a wrap from Kansas City. K-State falls 76-57 here inside of T-Mobile Center.